Hey everyone, it's Dillon again. I am very excited today because today I just got in some new paper, and I love paper almost as much as I love ink. These papers that I got in are from the Yamamoto Premium Paper Pad. So if y'all remember, I did a review on the Yamamoto Premium Pad, and I brought in 3 of the papers now available in individual 50-sheet packs. The first one I brought in is the Cosmo Air Light. I did cover this one pretty extensively in that other video, but the Cosmo Air Light is probably one of my new favorite papers. The paper itself adds a little bit of resistance to your feet, to your writing, so in case you don't like a nib that's a little too smooth, it does give you a little bit more of a feel of the paper. But the paper itself is phenomenal for ink. It shows shimmer and sheen incredibly well. Shading inks also shade quite a bit. Plus, because it's slightly heavier paper, there is very, very little ghosting. I saw no bleed through and no feathering when I was writing on it, and the dry times are fairly average. So definitely a paper that I'm going to be having a lot more fun with. Loving it quite a bit. I will, of course, be adding a lot of close-ups on the writing samples and everything that I've done in the video. The second paper that we got in is the new Chiffon cream paper at 75 GSM. This paper is a little bit more interesting because it is a very, very textured paper. And so the dry time on this paper, though, is absolutely phenomenal. Every pen that I've been writing with has been just drying immediately, shows shimmering inks really, really well. Sheening inks, I'm getting more of a haloing effect rather than the full sheen. And shading inks, it really is only showing shading inks if you have a very, very high shading ink, like Apache Sunset, like Diamine, Autumn Oak, or Sailor Neko Yanagi. However, one thing that I am noticing about this particular paper is that there is a little bit of feathering, especially when you're using a wetter pen or a wetter ink. For example, I was using a 1.1 millimeter TWSBI stub nib, and I got a little bit of feathering when I really let the ink flow. And then the last paper we brought in is one that I've heard so much about and I've always been really excited to try out. It is the OK Fools paper. This paper weighs in at 81.4 GSM, and it's a really interesting paper because what I'm noticing is that whenever I'm writing on it, it actually tends to make my nib even finer than it normally is. So when I was writing with my TWSBI on the Cosmo Air Light, it actually looks thicker than it does on the OK Fools, and I think that's simply because the OK Fools isn't as conducive to ink flow, and so it creates a thinner line. But I'm really loving how the paper performed. The shimmering ink that I use is Diamine Arctic Glue, and it is just popping off the page. Same thing for Neko Yanagi. Not as much shading on this paper as on the other two, but as this paper is thicker than the other two, there is literally no show-through whatsoever. You can definitely write on both sides of this paper perfectly fine. Pretty average dry time, and just overall, I'm really smooth paper. This paper also does come with a really interesting watermark that actually dates back to the origin of the paper. As I said, all of these packs are 50 sheets. They're A4 sized, and I believe they retail in at $22. I'll throw a link into the description below for all the different packs. Definitely get yours while you can because there's a very limited supply. I'm probably going to get a pack of each for myself. Anyways, let me know which paper y'all are really interested, and I'll see you next time.